Alright guys, so this is Solana. This is a trade that I had put on earlier in the day. I showed these are the targets that's coming down to the downside. Um, and so here is what I had put. So you see this was 3 hours ago. Alright, this is Solana before. So I click on the link. Alright, so you clearly see that I called it. I was going to the downside. Alright, and you clearly see right now, here go the targets. So all my targets hit. And so essentially, I copy that link. I go in, I hit the edit button. Alright, and then I'm going to now add my Solana after. And boom, hit save. Alright. So I got mine before, right? And then I got my after. And that's essentially what we do with the trading challenge, guys. You know, right? This person right here did it 8 hours ago. That was looking for targets to go up to the upside. Right? And then this was theirs after. Targets hit. They said it right here. They said the targets reached, and that's essentially what they're doing. All right. It's just they're using 11.8 cross. They want to get to the 50%, maybe 61%, but they said TP at 50%. And this is for the Swiss franc, Japanese yen. And of course, you see the targets reached, everything hit. Up at the 50% that blasted through. Alright, so yeah, these are the strategies that we continue just using, guys. Just basically using Fibonacci, retracement, playing the retracement levels. After measuring the impulse, and we can play that game all day, guys. It doesn't matter what instrument, asset. This is gold. Let's go to the downside. All right. But if we wanted to, we could use our. Let's do this. Of course, we know this is a double top, but we got an impulse right here. We can measure. We get the downside targets. So we aiming for at least these two targets, and then this will be the third target. Alright, and we're looking for this level to clear to take the trade. Alright, the stop loss will be right there. You take it down to these levels. And you see how it plays out. And of course, so all three of these targets were hit. Right, and we got these are the fourth and fifth targets, all based off just that impulse. And of course, we can measure this as well too. That could have been a deeper one to measure because why price never broke this. Okay, so this was a resistance point. And we got right here, right there, boom. So you see how now these two, and of course this would be the third one. All right. But that's the Fibonacci extension tool. And just staying consistent, guys. Just playing these levels out, right? Of course, this is SPY for the day. Not much really going with that today. Look at the U.S. oil, and let's look at sentiment. All right. So this is a 15-minute chart, but we clearly see we have a nice little downtrend. All right. So now we're consolidating down here. All right. But we've been essentially continuously moving to the downside, and what's trapping people is this. All right. On our sentiment, we have right now, U.S. oil is 89% are long, which it was more than that. It was like over 90%, and only 11% was short. So this for a while has been that, from all the way up here all the way down. Most people were going long, and they were basically getting liquidated. They became liquidity, and so sentiment continues to play out in our favor, utilizing these strategies, guys. Let's see. All right, so we look at Australian dollar, U.S. dollar. 66% were long. You still see the same thing. A lot of longs, but price continue making lower lows, lower highs. All right, and so if we at least take, for that measurement down, taking this impulse from here to here, all right, we're at least looking like we can get to this 63 cent area. We can drop to get down to here, but once again, majority are what? Long, 66, only 34% short. So it's a real strong indication that the U.S. dollar start moving even lower against the Australian dollar. But yeah, guys, we see this over and over and over again. Just playing out these, these strategies. I got the Euro NZ, 70, this is 72%. Euro odd, 76% are short. Let's look at this. Alright, what did it say? We said that 70%, 76% were what? Short, right? So that's majority. But we clearly see on the screen, right? We had this big uptrend, right, Friday, right? Of course, now we have a sell-off, but since Thursday of October 9th, we've been in an uptrend that ended on the 17th, which is on that Friday, right? So we got some of the sell pressure, but remember those 76% that were short, all of them was basically getting liquidated. You're gonna have your natural move backs now, and so now we want to see if can this level hold. Can that hold? If this can hold, there's a strong possibility that we can start push up higher. All right, it's going to continue to try to trap these shorts. People now thinking, okay, now we have the short, and they probably thought the same thing here. Okay, now we have the short. Okay, thank you. Now we got the short. Okay, thank you. Now we got the short. Okay, thank you. All right, now we got the short. Oh, we really got the short. We really got the short. Okay, but you got to be careful. We can just push right back up here. So if this level holds, this is good. So, I'm not telling you what you should be doing, but if I was looking to buy anything, it would probably be in this area with a stop loss below here, or at least this level right here, just to be careful if we get a liquidity sweep. But the odds are a little bit more favorable, if that happened. Even if we were to come down here and get swept out and maybe a stop loss get hit, I still would be looking for buy-in, because this is still considered some form of an uptrend, right? And then sometimes people who do play the trend lines, like I said, it is a break and close below here, all right? So there's different methods of how to trade this, all right? But needless to say, you clearly see how these plays, keep playing out, over and over and over again. So just stick with the system, man, and see it through. It's all about psychology, all right? Hit the like button, subscribe. It's your boy E-White. I'm out, y'all.